Chapter 5. Be careful what you wish for. The next morning, Chapter 5. Be careful what you wish for. The next morning, Zoe was at her locker when Elsie came storming up next to her. I cannot believe my parents made me come to school, Elsie seethed. I was on the top of the leaderboard and last spot standing. I stayed up all night to get there. Now I'll lose my spot. Elsie slammed her bag into her locker and slumped to the ground. I'm sorry, said Zoe, but it's just a game, right? Elsie's eyes went wide in anger. Just a game? Before she could say anything else, Mia skipped up to her locker next to Zoe. Hey, are you coming to my game today, Elsie? I missed you last night, and I killed it. No, I will not be at your stupid game.
Be at your stupid game,
Elsie replied with a scowl. I have my own game to play. Wow, you don't have to be a jerk, said Mia. Mia's voice was drowned out by the crowd of people trailing Jalen as he walked up with a swagger. How's it going, guys? Jalen asked. But before they could respond, he was signing autographs and posing for selfies again. Let's just go to class, Mia said, annoyed. The girls headed down the hall. Jalen posed for pictures with people, unaware that his friends had left. The first period bell rang, and Elsie scowled at Mr. Dahlgren when he told the class to turn to page 127 of their textbooks. I'll bet I'm not even in the top 10 on the leaderboard by now, thought Elsie. Then she remembered that her laptop was in her backpack. Mr. Dahlgren had his back to the class, mapping out electron levels on whiteboard. Elsie slipped her laptop out and opened the game. She entered the lobby, her eyes shifting between the screen and Mr. Dahlgren. Once the lobby was full, the loading screen flashed bright red on the screen. Elsie Hamilton, said Mr. Dahlgren harshly. No screens in my classroom. Please bring it here. You can have it back at the end of class. Embarrassed, Elsie carried her laptop to the front of the room. But by the time she reached the teacher, her embarrassment was replaced with anger. Here, Elsie said, shoving the laptop into Mr. Dahlgren's hands. I just thought I'd do something that was actually interesting while you drone on. Mr. Dahlgren's jaw dropped in shock. Then his eyebrows turned down, and he took a deep breath. If that is how you feel, Miss Hamilton, then you can go to Principal Harmon's office. Elsie froze, speechless. She had never been sent to the principal's office before. But when Mr. Dahlgren slid her laptop into his desk drawer, her fury returned. Fine, Elsie cried. This class is a waste of time. Elsie stormed out of the room and slammed the door. She marched down the hall toward Principal Harmon's office, fuming. Then she stopped in the middle of the hallway. My parents won't be home until late tonight, Elsie thought. No one will interrupt me from my game. A mischievous smile crept up on Elsie's face as she pulled the nearest fire alarm. Then she broke out into a fast jog, excited to get back home. When the final bell rang, Zoe, Mia, and Jalen met at their lockers. A crowd still swarmed Jalen. "Have either of you seen Elsie?" asked Zoe. "No, but she might still be in Principal Harmon's office," said Mia. "I can't believe she did that." "I know," said Zoe. "I'll see you at your game, Mia. How about you, Jalen?" "Hello, Jalen." Jalen hadn't heard a word of their conversation. He was taking pictures with one person after another. The bright smile he had posed with earlier in the day had faded to a half-hearted smirk. The two girls looked at each other and then left Jalen to his followers. With every photo, Jalen grew more exhausted. Every time someone shouted his name, it was like a 5-pound weight was added to his shoulders. "All right, everybody," Jalen said. "I'm going to head home now." Disappointed groans rose up from the crowd. As Jalen tried to walk away, the groans turned to yells. Suddenly, the crowd surged forward. Jalen had to back up against the lockers as a wall of faces, phones, and outstretched arms formed around him. He dropped to a crouch and wrapped his arms around himself. His breathing became short, jagged gasps. With all his might, Jalen pushed through the crowd. Hands grabbed at his shirt and hair. He ripped free and sprinted through the exit doors. Without slowing, he jumped down the set of stairs and started running home. Mia took her place on the court. Normally, she would be anxious, but not this time. She scored her team's first point with a torpedoed hit over the net and kept the kills coming. With the score at 11-0 in the second set, Coach Ramsey called timeout. "Why did you call timeout, Coach?" asked Han. "We were on a roll." "Thanks to me," muttered Mia under her breath. A few of her teammates shot angry looks at her. "I just wanted to give you a rest," Coach said. When the whistle blew, Coach held back Tina. "Set it to someone else," she said. Tina nodded and jogged onto the court. Her next set went to Hazel, who tipped the ball over for a point. Mia stood by the net with her arms crossed as the other 5 girls came together to celebrate. When Tina moved back to her spot, Mia pushed her and said, "If you want to win, keep it coming to me." Mia put her hands on her knees and waited for the serve, but Coach Ramsey called timeout instead. Mia sighed and walked to her team's sideline huddle. "Ashley, you're going in for Mia," Coach said. "What?" Mia erupted. "Why? We're winning thanks to me." Coach glared at Mia. "Volleyball is a team sport. Sitting a few plays might improve your attitude." Mia scoffed. "Sure, if you want to lose." Coach Ramsey bristled. "I think you're done for tonight. You can head to the locker room. We'll talk at the next practice." Mia stood shocked as her teammates went back onto the court. With a last glare at her coach, she turned and stormed off to the locker room. She grabbed her things, left the school, and biked home, seething the entire way.